Welcome to Unmasking the Gods, lifting the veil on religion, power, and myth. Across cultures and across time, one image has stood tall above all others: the tree. Not just a tree of wood and leaf, but the cosmic tree, the axis that connects heaven, earth, and the underworld. Why the tree? Because it mirrors life itself. Its roots sink deep into hidden darkness, its trunk stands in the world of men, and its branches stretch upward toward the light of heaven. It is both grounded and ascending, a living bridge between realms. The tree's yearly cycle of blossoming, fruiting, and shedding made it the perfect symbol for rebirth, eternity, and the sacred order of the cosmos. In Mesopotamia, the world's first great civilizations planted the tree of life in their myths and temples. In Sumer, carvings showed a stylized tree flanked by divine beings, sometimes attended by winged genies. It was not just decoration, but a symbol of kingship. Only the chosen ruler could tend the cosmic tree and maintain order. This tree, watered by the gods, stood at the center of creation. To fall from it was to fall into chaos. The Babylonians inherited this vision, linking the tree to fertility and wisdom. The goddess Inanna was sometimes shown with the sacred Hulupu tree, guarded by a serpent and inhabited by birds. Within this symbol lay the pattern we would see repeated again and again: tree, serpent, bird, life, danger, and spirit intertwined. The Mesopotamian tree was the first axis mundi, a vertical pillar through which heaven and earth spoke to each other. Egypt, too, had its sacred trees. The sycamore tree was called the doorway of heaven. It was said that the goddess Nut, who arched her body across the night sky, sometimes appeared as a great tree, giving water and fruit to the dead. At the edge of the desert, where life and death met, these sacred sycamores grew. They became living gateways, their shade offering eternal rest, their fruit symbolizing divine nourishment. In Egyptian texts, the deceased called upon the tree goddess for refreshment as they crossed into the afterlife. Just as the Nile gave life to the land, the cosmic tree gave life to the soul. Every temple aligned with the stars was also a grove, a place where heaven's order could touch the earth. Trees, rivers, stars, and gods blended into a single sacred order. The Hebrew Bible placed its cosmic tree in the Garden of Eden. There stood two trees: the tree of life, symbol of immortality, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, symbol of wisdom and consequence. Between them lay humanity's destiny. To eat of one brought wisdom but exile. To eat of the other promised eternal life. Guarded by cherubim and a flaming sword, the tree of life became the dream of prophets, restored again in the book of Revelation as the tree whose leaves healed the nations. Christianity carried the tree symbol into the cross. In early writings, the cross was called the true tree of life, planted in the earth, lifting the Son of God between heaven and humanity. From its wood flowed salvation, echoing Eden's lost promise. In this way, the Christian cross became the cosmic axis, a tree of death that became the tree of eternal life. The paradox of sacrifice and renewal lived in its branches. In Norse mythology, the cosmic tree took its most vivid form. Yggdrasil, this vast ash tree, bound the 9 worlds together. Its roots stretched into the realm of the dead. Its trunk rose through the world of men, and its branches reached into Asgard, the realm of the gods. At its roots gnawed the serpent Nidugr, while above perched an eagle, and a squirrel ran between them carrying insults. Here again we find the eternal pattern: serpent, bird, and tree, woven into the drama of existence. Yggdrasil was not eternal in peace. It trembled before Ragnarok, when the world would end. Yet it was also the promise of renewal. From its shelter after the flames of the end, 2 humans would emerge to repopulate the earth. Thus, like all cosmic trees, Yggdrasil symbolized not only the fragility of order, but the certainty of rebirth. Philosophers and mystics later recognized in the tree the very structure of the cosmos. The roots were the hidden foundations of being. The trunk was the material world. The branches were the heavens, adorned with stars like fruits of eternity. The tree was not only symbol but reality, Seen in the vertical line of temples, obelisks, and towers that reached to the sky, it became the human instinct to build upward, to climb, to connect with the heavens. The tree is also humanity itself. We are rooted in the earth, bound to time and mortality, yet we reach for the infinite. Our ancestors saw in the tree their own reflection, fragile yet enduring, finite yet aspiring. To sit beneath the cosmic tree was to understand one's place in the vast design of the universe. This is only the beginning of the story. The cosmic tree stretches across cultures and ages, its roots in the earliest myths, its branches in every temple and story of the sacred. It is the pillar of life, the ladder to heaven, the shadow of eternity. From the inverted Ashvattha tree of Hindu philosophy to the sacred groves of shamans. The cosmic tree is not only rooted in myth, it rises into ritual, philosophy, and the imagination of every culture. Now we follow the branches, climbing into the heavens where the tree becomes a ladder of eternity. For the Maya, the world tree was the Ceiba, tall and wide, its branches touching the stars. Its roots plunged into the underworld. Its trunk stood in the human world, and its branches formed the sky above. At its heart lay the Milky Way itself, the shining river that the Maya saw as the trunk of the cosmic tree. In art, shamans climbed this tree in spirit, bridging the worlds, guiding souls from death into eternity. The Inca too looked upward and saw a tree in the stars. They called the Milky Way the Mayu, the heavenly river. To them, it was mirrored by rivers on earth, both flowing from the same divine source. The cosmic tree was also the cosmic river, an axis that could be water, wood, or light. To live in harmony was to follow its flow, to align with the rhythm that joined earth to sky. In Hindu thought, the cosmic tree took a paradoxical form. The Ashvattha tree of the Bhagavad Gita grew with its roots above and its branches below. It was an inverted tree, fed by the eternal, reaching downward into the material world. To cut this tree with the sword of wisdom was to escape illusion and return to the root of reality. The tree here was not only connection but also Maya, the illusion of life that must be transcended. Buddhism too held its tree sacred. Beneath the Bodhi tree, Siddhartha Gautama became the Buddha, awakening to the truth of suffering and liberation. The Bodhi tree became more than a plant, it became the axis of enlightenment, the spot where heaven and earth touched through awakening. Pilgrims still gather under its descendants, meditating where the eternal tree of wisdom once stood. Among shamans of Siberia, the tree was the ladder of the soul. In ritual, the shaman would climb a wooden pole carved with steps, symbolizing the ascent into the heavens. Each rung was a planetary sphere, each branch a new heaven. Drums beat like a heartbeat as the shaman's spirit rose through the cosmic tree, bringing healing, prophecy, and wisdom from above. Native American traditions also honored world trees. The Lakota spoke of the sacred cottonwood at the center of the sun dance, its trunk wrapped in offerings, its branches pointing to the four directions. It was both the center of the world and the doorway to the Great Spirit. Each branch was a path, each root a tie to the ancestors. The cosmic tree was not myth alone. It was ceremony, lived and enacted by the people. In Jewish mysticism, the Kabbalistic Tree of Life became the very map of divine reality. 10 sephirot, or emanations, formed its branches, descending from the unknowable crown to the foundation of existence. To climb this tree was to approach the divine, to ascend from earth toward infinite wisdom. Here the tree became philosophy, a diagram of creation and the soul's return. What unites all these visions is the tree's role as cosmic ladder. Whether Ceiba or Bodhi, Ashvattha or Yggdrasil, the tree was always a passage, from life to death, from ignorance to wisdom, from earth to heaven. Serpents often coiled at its roots, birds perched on its crown, embodying the eternal struggle of chaos and spirit. But the tree itself remained, eternal axis of the worlds. The tree was also the symbol of renewal. Each year its leaves fell, each spring it bloomed again. This cycle made it the perfect symbol for rebirth. Humanity saw in it the truth of existence, that nothing dies forever, that every winter carries the promise of spring. In shedding and renewal, the tree spoke of eternity. Astrotheology reveals the cosmic tree even in the stars. The Milky Way, stretching across the heavens, became the trunk of the world tree in culture after culture. The constellations were its branches. Its roots sank into the unseen. Night after night, people looked up and saw a tree of light binding them to the infinite. The heavens themselves declared what myth had long spoken. Today, the image still lives. In literature and art, in Christmas trees and family trees, in science that maps the tree of life, the symbol continues. It reminds us of where we come from, rooted in the dust of the earth, and where we are going, toward the stars. We too are cosmic trees, standing at the crossroads of heaven and earth. The cosmic tree endures because it is us. We are rooted and we reach. We are finite and eternal. We shed and we rise again. The ancients saw in the tree the truth of life, and so do we. Thank you for watching Unmasking the Gods, lifting the veil on religion, power, and myth. If this exploration of the cosmic tree inspired you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share so others can walk this path with us. Remember, you are rooted in the earth, but your branches stretch toward the stars.